All right, welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of FranchisOR Bust. You've got me, Trevor, as well as joining us every week, Katie.
Hello, everyone.
That's right. Expect to hear a lot from her this episode.
Right.
Yes, as always. And then today we're super excited and pumped to have our guest with us, Dean Hartley, five-star. It's a five-star kitchen and bath or five-star bath?
5-star Bath Solutions.
Five-star Bath Solutions. Got it. We nailed it. Okay. So Dean Hartley with five-star Bath Solutions. Super excited to have you. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on today, Trevor. Katie?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dean, we're going to learn all about five-star Bath. We're going to learn about your story and where you come from and what you're doing, and also gain some perspective for potential customers, potential franchisees, et cetera, who can really get to know your brand, understand the value that you bring. So, if you wouldn't mind, kick us off with just a little bit of background on how you got involved in the world of franchising and what you're currently up to and what your goals in the future are.
Great. Yeah. So I started in the bathroom remodeling space in 1999. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. Back then, new service on the market was something called a bathtub liner. Kind of put a cover over top of a tub. That was the new thing. And fresh out of college, I ended up in that space. And it went really well. It turned out that after a few years of doing that, I went into the manufacturing of those parts. So I was the VP of Sales and Marketing for a startup manufacturer in this space. And they happen to be located in Utah, where our corporate office is for Five Star is also located. And we ended up getting together and was asked to come over and be president of the brand. That was about 2014. So I've been doing this for just close to 10 years in the franchising space. 2 years into it, I ended up becoming a franchisee as well. It gave us a great testing ground here in Michigan, where I'm from, to test all of our new sales presentations, marketing concepts, installation procedures, to make sure that the things we're teaching our franchisees are not just whiteboard theory. It's actually tried and true in practice. So it's been a fun run.
How do you feel that having obviously having the purview over the brand, being responsible for the vision and the growth, et cetera, as being the president, but also being a franchisee, how do you feel like that's helped you when it comes to either recruiting new franchisees to the brand or just the process of training them, et cetera? What real value add have you seen in being not just the ZOR, but the Z as well?
It's probably been one of the best decisions we've ever made as a franchise. I know a lot of service brands don't, this doesn't happen too often where the brand president also owns a franchise. Usually it's actually the reverse. In our case, it's given us a ultimate testing ground to make sure that the process that we're teaching people is correct. And the way I describe the Michigan location to other franchisees, as prospective franchisees, is you think of us as the snowplow in front of everyone, making sure that your ride is a little bit smoother. I can't clear the snow completely for you, but we get the heavy lifting out of the way. So any marketing company that we're going to use, or a lead affiliate that we're going to use, or a change in the presentation, by the time it's gotten to the franchisee, we've used it here for 2 or 3 months, with a team of salespeople running a lot of leads, because we're also the largest franchise in the system. So this has been essential to our pretty extreme growth, is being able to put these programs together fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the attractions to folks about getting into franchising is that they are looking for someone who's kind of blazed the path, that they can emulate and they can understand how to be successful. So I think that the credibility that you have, with potential franchisees and existing franchisees is really huge. And sometimes in some franchise brands and systems, there can be a bit of a disconnect between, the guy running the show and then the actual franchisees. But I imagine your group has a little bit more camaraderie to it than maybe some other brands. How important do you think that's been for just overall culture and driving the culture of five-star bath solutions from the franchisor to the franchisee level? Because we know that harmony and creating that culture is fundamental to actually seeing that end result of a franchisee succeed. So, how do you feel like that not only you knowing the systems, knowing the processes really well, but really instilling that culture in them has been super important and successful?
It is from when we're explaining things, and I'm explaining it from the perspective of, we just tried this yesterday, it worked, or we just tried this yesterday, it didn't work. It's a confidence level. We're not using our franchisees' money and time to test things. They've already been tested. We've already benchmarked it. And most of this is on sales and marketing. Okay. That's where the risks are in our business, is on the sales and marketing side. After you've sold a project, now you just run the project. I mean, now it's just step by step by step. And yeah, we made some mistakes sometimes, but you fix them. On the front end, that's why it's called rainmaking. I mean, you're putting money out there. You have to do a certain level of execution on both the appointment setting side, how we talk to people on the phone, where we're buying the leads from. There's a lot of guesswork in that if you don't know what you're doing. And I have to guess too when we're finding a new lead source. But by testing these things with, here, which we can do quickly, a larger location can just do it a lot faster than the year it could take for a smaller location to try the same source. And we're able to put that benchmark out there, put that data out there and say, this is what you can expect. The confidence level is there, most of the time, because they know I'm doing this every day and we're not just guessing out here. So from a culture perspective, it is very helpful that everyone in the organization knows that everyone on the team here, by the way, I do not hire people for my corporate team that could not run my own business here. So if you're a sales coach, you ran some leads here. You prove yourself before I'm going to allow you to teach my franchisees. If you are an operations director, you have worked in all the departments of this location here for 6 months, and you should be able to be GM before I'm going to allow you to teach my franchisees. So our VP of sales was the sales manager of the Michigan location 2 years ago. I want that experience because I want at every level of the people who are going to be teaching and coaching, they need to know what really happens in real life. That helps with the confidence level, and it helps just point people in the right direction, which is what we're here for.
Confidence and trust inside of the culture, just breeding growth and breeding revenue generation, which, for a prospective franchisee, that's one of the top things that they're looking at is, hey, if I'm going to a lot of times quit the job they were in, or maybe expand from the other franchise brands that they have into a new one, they want to know, okay, this really works, and I'm really going to achieve, success, and I'm going to achieve my revenue goals and what I'm looking to do. So I think it's fantastic. Is there anything about, well, actually, let's talk a little bit about growth then, because we've been honing in a little bit on, the success metric and how you vet them and then set franchisees up for success, which is great. What have you guys been experiencing in terms of just growth inside of your system? And then what are some of your goals moving forward? Like if you were looking at, the next 3 to 5 years, what kind of growth trajectory are you looking at for 5-star Bass Solutions?
Pretty positive. We're exploding right now. Territory is super valuable at the moment. And we we went through a period of the first, 7 years, let's say, where we inched our way there. We added 10 locations here, 8 locations here. It was a little harder during the COVID time to get people open and get people committed. Um, and then, and I think at the beginning of the year, we had about 35 franchisees, 35 owners, which would have represented about 75 territories. Most of our owners will own I think the average about 2.2 at the time. And that's what our business is about, is groupings of households. All right. The bigger you want to get, the more marketing you need to spend, the more marketing or promotion you need to have a little bit larger area to do it in. This year, we sold close to 90 locations. So pretty rapid growth. So at the same time that we put together an initiative called Double Double, where we wanted to double over our existing franchisees or our network in a period of 2 years, which about half of our legacy locations were on a pace of being able to double their business. I think overall, maybe 15% growth of existing locations, which when you have a lot of people at the top who are doing some pretty significant volume now, we have a $12 million location on the top. It's hard to double those over, again. So the percentages start coming down. But, we had, $3 million locations who did 6 million this year. That's amazing growth.
That is.
Now we're adding to it, another 35 owners. The average location is actually up a little bit. It's from 2 to about 2.8 now. People are buying more because they're seeing the opportunity. And I expect that to, the goal is another 100 next year. So when I say territory is valuable, in our type of a business, you can't put 13 5-star bath locations in, a city like you can a sub shop.
Mm-hmm.
So over the next year or two, I think we'll see that, we start getting up to that. We got a lot of it covered, and very excited about bringing on all these new people and training them and seeing them succeed in their businesses.
That's amazing. What challenges do you foresee with kind of the growth from, that you're kind of beyond, baseline emerging now, right? But based on that growth, the growth that you have coming, you're going to be blowing way past that into hundreds of territories, and managing that, and what that growth looks like internally, as well as kind of just maintaining the standard of the business, et cetera. So talk a little bit about just how you foresee you're going to meet those challenges, and obviously as a fellow business owner and someone who, that's always the exciting part. The exciting part is growing, but there's still some challenges that come along with it. So how do you feel you're going to navigate those?
No, and we started feeling them this year. You're right. It comes down to hiring the right people, having the right accountability chart, making sure that our process is, organized to make sure that each franchisee is going through the same process. And this year was an interesting year for that, because prior, if you sold 3 franchises in a year, I can answer the phone myself for 3 people and walk them through the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first 5 years of this, that's what it was. I happened to just take that role. That's what a brand president does when you don't need a full team yet. But now this year I had to start building that team. It's not that I was the only person before, but you get the idea. I had to start putting a lot more on. So utilizing this store that we have here is actually part of that process. When I said I'm hiring, so we hired people here with the intention was, I want you to be VP of Ops. I want you to be VP of Sales, but you can't be that until you can do it here. So for us now, we're at the level of bringing on talented brand coaches who can know when they need to send a franchisee to one of our specialists, but be able to help those franchisees through the process when I'm not going to be available to answer the phone all the time. So it's challenging, but I've been fortunate to find some great people on the team, people who really get it. We're pretty big into EOS here. Don't know if you're familiar, but get it, want it, and capacity to do it is pretty important to us. Understanding our culture, understanding that what drives us, as business owners ourselves, of course, P&L really does drive us, but I like seeing the franchisees succeed. That's what I'm here for. There's no need really for me to be brand president. I have a pretty big business here. I like seeing people succeed. I like seeing people be able to get out of whatever they were doing and have a lifestyle that, a different lifestyle, that they wanted. So it's fun. And when you find people who also find that fun, it's not work anymore.
Yeah, for sure. It's every time we do these and we have kind of the CEO or the president on, and you can hear the passion, you understand it, sometimes that can be a real separator for why a potential franchisee, because you're right, the money talks, right, and the desire to succeed and have revenue and all those things are super important to a franchisee. But also not only the active ones inside system, but prospective ones to 5-star would kind of understand and hear your passion and see that they're going to be in good hands when they make their investment. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I go back to why this Michigan store was even created. Is a franchisee failed back in 2016. And I'm like, I'm not going to teach somebody something that I cannot prove can be done myself. And if I can't do it, then I don't belong in this job. And you can find someone else to do it because, how can I, stand up in front of a class of 6 potential franchisees who are investing their 401k or taking out a big loan, quitting their job, and I can't prove that it can be done, myself. And what the intention was just to have a small place here, ended up growing to be pretty big. But that's very important to me, to make sure that we're telling people the right things. And not to say that we don't make mistakes too, but I'm making the mistake with my own money in my case.
Well, and
so I'm going to try not to make one.
For sure. Well, again, that trust factor to potential is huge. Now, Katie, being a big Winston Churchill fan, often quotes him when he says, "Why stand when you can sit?" So, and he was referring to taking a bath as opposed to standing in a shower when that was starting to become popular.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are a full bathroom remodel shop, correct? Not walk us through kind of just like the scope of services that you all offer, and how customers can really, it can seem intuitive. Okay, bathroom remodel. Okay, yeah, got it. I want a new bathroom. But talk us through maybe just the services and how a potential customer can really understand what the value is that they're going to be getting from a 5-star bath location.
Yeah, and if I was at a dinner party and somebody asked me what I did, I would describe myself as bathroom remodeling because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
If I went into a little bit more detail, we do specialize. We're a little bit more niche than anything and everything to everyone. And the niche is that wet space. All right. The shower and the bathtub is going to be the niche, and I'd say about 60 to 70% of our customers end up only doing something in that wet space. It's the most intimidating part of the bathroom for somebody who was going to do a remodel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can probably figure out how to change out a commode. You can probably figure out how to change out a vanity. You can paint your own walls. But when you turn around and look at that shower, you go, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's the most expensive part of the bathroom. It's the part that would take the longest to do, and it's also the part that is, if done wrong, the most expensive part of the bathroom. So the most expensive project you do is the one you have to do twice because you didn't do it right the first time, right? So that's really our niche. Is we offer an affordable solution that is a pretty assembly line, I guess you'd say. We've already narrowed down all the choices to things that work, things that we know are going to last for a customer, things we know are going to be very easy to maintain, and to clean and be functional. All right. At the end of the day, a shower needs to be functional first and look good second in most cases. You don't have dinner parties in your bathroom. So I over the years, we've put together some exclusive products, a lot of the products we use are commodity type products, but we've put together the right ones because there's thousands of them out there. And a homeowner, would go crazy trying to figure this all out on their own. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to help guide a customer down the path to fill their particular needs. And we have enough products that we're going to satisfy, 80-90% of the people in that shower space. Some of our locations do venture into the dry space. We do flooring, toilets, vanities, things like that. But where our real niche is by taking care of that expensive part, we're able to bring the overall remodeling costs down for you as the homeowner.
Got it. That makes
Maybe you don't need anything done in the rest of the space, but a traditional contractor or a kitchen and bath shop's doing the whole thing or nothing.
right.
All right. They're going to do the whole thing because if they got crews out at your house, they need to be charging $25,000 to $50,000 on that bathroom, or they'd rather be doing a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough space to do. You can't have two crews in there at once.
I think that's a great insight. So it's a more niche solution, but it's also a little bit more affordable, which kind of makes the barrier to entry, for the customers a lot less.
Yeah, our average price is going to be in the, on like the least expensive stuff we offer would be in the 10,000-11,000 range, and then it kind of goes up to 15,000-16,000, let's say, if we were doing a little bit more. And that's a pretty tight range when you consider Remodelers Magazine, who puts out a cost versus value report every year, has a mid-range and an upscale bathroom, and it's $27,000 to $87,000 is the national average on that, on a bathroom remodeling project. So they're a lot more expensive than customers think. And it's why a service like ours is, we're geared towards middle to upper middle class, suburban lifestyle, 1 to 2 bathrooms, maybe 3 in a house. And the advantages to our customer are, having someone there, a free design, someone who comes out who's knowledgeable, who can walk them down the path, design something good, design something that, because it's streamlined, we don't have to teach our installers how to put in 1,000 products. We're teaching them how to put in a handful of products, but do it really well. The process goes smooth, takes 2 days to put one of these in. That alone. I don't know how many remodeling projects you guys have done, but I just got done with a kitchen. It took like 7 months.
Yeah.
And funny enough, you can eat out. But if my bathroom was gone for 7 months, I don't think that'd be very good.
No.
I don't want to use my kid's bathroom for a day, let alone a few weeks. So getting it done without the hassle, without the fear. We've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times, so we kind of know what we're getting into, and it's really beneficial for our customers.
Processes are tried and true. The president of the organization is right there in the weeds with you, testing everything out, making sure it goes smoothly. The barrier to entry for the customer is low. It sounds like a great recipe for success, and it has been so far. And by the sound of it, growth is on a skyrocket right now. We wish you all the best, Dean. Anything you'd like to leave us with before we go?
Well, I want to thank you for having me on today. I would say that for the right people, this is a fun business. It requires some execution and some dedication, some dedication to the data of making sure you're executing properly. I mean, it's a numbers business like anything else, but there's some good satisfaction in it. Not only are we giving people nice bathrooms, but a lot of times we're helping people out because 65% of those showers that we put in are for people who are having trouble getting into that. Why sit when you can stand? They can't sit anymore, or,
Right.
because you got to get back up. So lifting your leg over that bathtub, it's one of our most popular procedures here is a bathtub to a shower conversion, for our aging population. And sometimes it's just for convenience, but sometimes it's for necessity. So nothing better than the feeling you get when in 2 days you've literally changed somebody's life because 2 days ago they couldn't shower at all. The best they could do is a washcloth in their vanity or the kitchen sink. And now they can actually get in, to a shower and bathe it's an essential part of life. So it makes us a little bit not recession proof, but you got to bathe no matter what. So we're a little bit closer to the category of consistency, and we're offering helpful solutions to our customers. So for the right person, it's a great business, a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Dean, thank you so very much. Katie and I have enjoyed chatting with you today and learning all about 5-Star Bath Solutions. If you're a prospective franchisee, if you're someone who's just interested in reaching out to Dean to learn more, what would be the best way to do that, Dean?
Just give us a call. Go to 5starfranchising.com. We're at every conference. 5starbathsolutions.com. You can look us up, and we'd be happy to talk to anyone about it.
Outstanding. Well, if you want to see Dean and me coming up at the IFA conference, I'm sure we'll both be there in a few months, and we can talk then. But in the meantime, appreciate everybody who listened, and we will see you, and you'll hear from us on the next Franchise or Bust.